Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Talladega Superspeedway. This is race number 6 on the season finale for the regular season here in the NASCAR Miscraft Cup Series of Season 4. This is a Miscraft 500, and everyone is looking to find their way into the contending 8. 5 cars already locked in, and you got 3 more right there in the bubble. But you got one. Gotta remember though that if you get a win, you will be locked in. Some guys are still in the bubble, and they need to have great races here today at the Talladega Superspeedway. It's a wild card event. And the 10 laps is plenty of time for something bad to go happen to your day and to your season. And it's all going to come down to this. And it's not going to be an easy one. You got that 17 Ricky Jr. up on the front row. He's very fast here on these restrictor plate racetracks. Definitely do not count him out early in the going and maybe even late in the going. But that 19 of Daniel Suarez looking tougher and tougher to be able to defend his NASCAR Miscraft Cup Series championship that he got in season 3. And Danica Patrick is returning for her final time here in the NASCAR Miscraft Cup Series, driving the 7 for Premium Motorsports. And that GoDaddy Chevrolet looking green here this weekend. But Kyle Busch, though, he's just barely in the cutoff. And if he wants to be able to get into that contending 8 for the championship, he needs a win or a very good finish. And same goes for William Byron. He's got a little bit more of a cushion, and he's looking a little bit better right now, starting up closer to the front, and he's got a better shot at it. But Jimmie Johnson, though, he's going to need a win if he wants to get in there. He has not made it to the Final Four in the Miscraft Cup Series, and he really needs to defend that. He really needs to play aggressive here today at Talladega. Same goes for Kyle Larson. He's had a lot of good runs recently. Can he close out the deal here today? Well, same goes for Martin Truex Jr. as well. I mean, he's been running pretty good as well this season. Pretty solid for a lot of guys, but you just got to get those wins. You got to get yourself locked into this race. 32 cars will make up the field for today's race with the 10-lap distance. It's very, very challenging to be able to make your way up through the field if you're starting in the back and need to get yourself a win. But we'll take the green flag and get the engines fired right after this. The NASCAR Miscraft Cup Series Playoffs is here. It'll be kicked off at the new West Wave Raceway, the brand new road course for the contending 8 to conquer the Final 4 in points. After that, we'll head on down to the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware, to find out who your champion will be in Season 4. All coming in the next month on the Miscraft Broadcasting Channel. And we welcome you back to the Talladega Superspeedway for the Miscraft 500, the 10-lap race here around this 2.66-mile raceway. You got 4 lanes to choose from, and these guys are about ready to get this one underway. Let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineup for today's race. For number 1, you have the 17 Ricky Jr. and Kyle Larson starts up on his outside. Those two have been really looking strong this entire season, and as you can see, you got William Byron there. He'll be starting up on the outside lane as well as you go down through the running order for the beginning of this race. You got a lot of guys that really kind of need points right back there that are on the cut line, like Jimmie Johnson, and you also have the 18 of Kyle Busch, then you have the 12 of Ryan Blaney, who got the win earlier this season as the cars roll off of pit lane. And let's go ahead and take a look at your point standings right before we head into this final race of the regular season. A lot of these guys are really looking close here, like Kyle Busch in the 18, the last guy right there on the cut line. And it's looking very tough for him right now. He's just a few points ahead of the 70 of Martin Truex Jr. and the 48 of Jimmie Johnson. And it looks like the 9 of the 24, though, at the clearest of a gas. But nonetheless, green flag is in the air, and Ricky Jr. already off to a great jump here onto the back straightaway. Alex Bowman follows him. The top 2 single file on the inside lane. They're going to already run it 3 wide. Logano way up top. He's going to try and make a side-by-side for the lead. Stenhouse blocks. He'll lead the first lap down to turn number 1. Alex Bowman trying to get to the inside of the 22 of Logano, but here comes Logano's teammate Ryan Blaney leading the charge on the outside lane. He's going to want to take the lead from Ricky Jr. He's to the quarter pedal. He's going to get it coming onto the front straightaway. And he's going to use the drag on the 17. He's going to push him onto the apron. He's going to try and come back up. Ricky Jr. just barely stayed his race car. They're going to run 4 wide trying to get around the 17, but it's going to even out onto the back straightaway. Here's that 19 of Daniel Suarez on the outside lane. He got loose. So did Keselowski into turn number 3. William Byron, though, he's got a great run. He's going to look to the inside of Ryan Blaney. He is followed by the 19 and the 2. Coming to the line, 2 laps till a halfway bonus. And alone, once again, Suarez got loose off the front end of the 2 of Brad Keselowski in turn number 1. are about 4 cars single file here as they head on the back straightaway. Whoa, sideways goes the 14 to Clint Boyer into the air for a moment, and Darrell Wallace Jr. spins with him. A hellacious smash into the inside wall, and the caution comes out just before they came to the white flag for the first stage here. Oh man, it looks like Clint Boyer was trying to get in line right in front of that 48 of Jimmie Johnson. No room right there, just about clipped, and then right into the front end of that 43 machine, up into the air, almost went over like he did in Season 2 back here at Talladega. And man, that was a hectic ride he took in Season 2, but luckily he stayed on all fours, and he will continue here today. As you can see, some of the guys involved in that really close wreck right there. But nonetheless, though, we are going back green. Already a great jump for William Byron. He took the outside lane for that restart. Kyle Larson, once again, on the back bumper of that 24 machine, I should say. And it looks like the 22 did not get a very good restart. He's falling back. Already almost 3 cars single file here on the very inside lane. 3 laps remaining here at Talladega. And I've got 4 cars now single file on the inside lane. Everything kind of seemed a little bit more calm off this restart since Joey Logano did not get going. And the maximum battles that we're seeing here is side by side. Joey Logano right there sitting, trying to find his way back up, running about 5th, 6th right now. And he right along with the 24 William Byron. 2 laps to go this time by. There's a guy that needs a win. Kyle Larson sitting 2nd. Then he got the guy who's got the first win on the season is Stenhouse, but here comes the 22 Logano. A great run on the back straightaway. Following him is Suarez, and Jimmie Johnson now in the 3rd lane. He's got 200 teammates behind him. White flag is in the air here in Dega. And they got the 22 Logano trying to make a move on the 24 William Byron. Not going to be able to get there, though. 3 wide almost. Sideways went everyone in the middle of the back right there. Here's Joey Logano with that 48 of Jimmie Johnson on his back bumper out of turn 4. They're going to slide. Sideways goes Logano into the catch fencing and slamming back to the ground. And it's the 48 of Jimmie Johnson to get the win here at the Talladega Superspeedway, and a humongous incident on the front straightaway involving Joey Logano, Daniel Suarez, Alex Bowman into the catch fencing. Oh, and it looks like some fans might have been injured as well here on the front straightaway. A vicious hit, a vicious crash in and out the regular season. Joey Logano up into the catch fencing. That car demolished. Let's see this replay here. Coming out of turn number 4, the 48 had a great run. Oh, pushed the 22 down and got into him, slamming into the 19 up into the air. His car got forced. Let's see it again. I'm not sure if the 48 got on. Yeah, he did. He got on the left rear quarter of that 22 car, slammed him around, got hit. Oh, right. And you saw Logano, he hit the back end of the 48. That spun him back around. And you can see it full time here. Spun him back around and hit him parallel to the start finish line, it seemed, and perpendicular to oncoming traffic, and lift him up into the air and into the catch fencing. But nonetheless, it is Jimmie Johnson's day to celebrate. No victory burnout because of the humongous incident on the front straightaway. Glad everyone is okay. But Jimmie Johnson, though, he will come home in the winner, and he locked himself into the playoffs here for the NASCAR Miscraft Cup Series. And let's go ahead and take a look at your finishing results. As you can see, a lot of different faces you would not expect to see up front there. William Byron, though, 2 straight second place finishes, and that's really going to help him heading into the playoffs here. But as you know, you got a lot of guys that really made their way to the playoffs, and they did. 2 guys pointed their way in, William Byron and Chase Elliott, one of the dark horses in this season so far. And you got a lot of guys, everyone that is in the top 8, reset their points to 1,000 here. And Jimmie Johnson made his way into the final, into the contending 8. And Kyle Busch was the first driver to miss out. And what a tough break for that 18 car. He had a really great run here today, but so did William Byron and Chase Elliott. They had better finishes, and Jimmie Johnson ultimately got the win. His first Miscraft Cup Series win, and that was the one that counted the most. He got himself locked into the playoffs, and he will be facing West Wave or Raceway and seeing if he can make it into the Final 4 to run for the championship here come Dover International Speedway at the end of the season. But yeah, as you can see, you got Denny Hamlin, Jimmie Johnson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ryan Blaney, Kurt Busch, and Jamie McMurray all had wins this season that locked themselves into the playoffs here. Then you got the 2 guys that pointed their way in from Hendrick Motorsports, the 24 and the 9. And that is a very, very tough way to go for a lot of the guys. A lot of guys like the 78, the 18, the 42, the 4, and even the 88. Everyone was having great runs when it came down to the end of the season, but nobody could escape the carnage of the Talladega Superspeedway. And we're going on to a brand new road course designed especially for the Miscraft Cup Series at Westway Raceway, and we will see you guys then for the opening round of the playoffs.